that's been sort of almost frowned upon, or it is seen as a bit scary and misunderstood, from my experience.
Well, yeah, the other thing with that is if any time when there's new, like a major change, I mean, Windows to Linux is really a major change. But as soon as you look at that, you've got employees thinking, I've been getting on doing my job, I know my job, I don't have to go retraining for this. If this Linux thing comes in, I'm going to have to retrain, it's going to be a lot of hassle, I'm going to be expected to go on training courses, will I get paid for them? There's all of that, and there's all this new hassle. Oh, I'm into a pattern, why do I have to change? And you'll see people who are in the manager's office begging to say, look, please don't switch Windows on me. Don't allow me to keep running Windows. I'm special. Why do I have to change to this Ubuntu thing or this Fedora thing, whatever it is? Let me run Windows. And you've got the managers on the other hand saying, look, when it comes to expenses, you'd have to pay for it yourself, as Windows ain't free. There's a lot of resistance from people who are already in the job who don't want to retrain, and that's fine, give it to the new starters and whatever, but why they'll see it as a punishment, essentially, that they're being switched.
Right, well, Roy, if you've got another topic, have we got a news topic to relate, or shall we just have another general chat? I've got a few things I can mention, but if you've got some sort of solid news over the last week.
I've got a couple. I suppose it's news. First thing, Debian Squeeze is released, and it was released. I think it was yesterday.
On Sunday. Yeah.
Debian Squeeze is released, and they also sprung a bit of a surprise on people as well, and they've changed all the website. All the Debian websites have been revamped as well, and they look much better now. Still quite simple, but they look much better now than what they were. It's about time. There was all these release parties and dents going through about. It's quite interesting to watch dents and redents saying that mirrors have been synced and things. I mean, the thing is, these are genuine release parties. These are genuine people who have got a passion for Debian, a passion for free software and all of that. And this isn't sort of corporate, some corporation pushing it. This is real people.
It's also a very international community. I think about some communities, you can say it's more, for example, in the case of SUSE, you can say it's got more European people, especially German people. In some cases, you could say that there is more like an Hispanic people around the development of GNOME, or compared to KDE, which is more like the KDE type of KDE and SUSE had some overlap, at least historically. And then you have, of course, the American corporations, those which are based in the United States. So Red Hat and Novell, you usually will expect these companies to mostly employ people in the United States. And when you look at Debian, I mean, the leaders of the project and even the distribution of the developers is very, very widespread internationally, just everywhere. And that's part of the fact that they don't have headquarters, or if they do have some kind of an establishment that's supposed to be a parent company or a parent foundation or something like that, it's not actually a physical place, or it isn't actually a company with headquarters and secretarial staff and marketing, but it's very decentralized. And that's the nice thing about it.
I think on DistroWatch, they're one of the few that's listed as the origin as being worldwide. But these are all sort of genuine. As I say, it was watching mirrors are being synced, and then messages saying, the seeds are going for the torrents, and it was like watching a whole military operation swing into action. They'd been planning it for that long, and the thing is, it's like a lot of distros have a 6-month release, so this kind of thing happens fairly regularly. But Debian, it's always been when it's ready. It seems to be like quite a while, like 18 months or 2 years or something between releases, so it's quite a big deal, really.
I've heard complaints from one of the KDE developers, specifically a person who works on Plasma Desktop, and he was complaining about the fact that Debian incorporated 4.5, version 4.5 of KDE, and he explained why it's going to be a real nightmare to maintain, especially when it comes to security flaws or serious bugs, and them having to actually patch the 4.5 branch. One of the reasons it's important is, of course, because Debian stable is going to be around for a long time, even for people who maintain servers or desktops. It can be on their desktop without a serious update for 2 years, which means that there's going to be a lot of backporting of patches applied to KDE if they want to keep it up to date. That's one thing I came across. One more thing is I just thought almost nobody mentions the founder of Debian. And from what I understood, and I've been asking around, and I got some answers from people who know him personally, he basically, as you know, he was hired by Sun Microsystems some stage, I think like 2006, 2007, I think 2007, and very quietly he basically departed from Sun. He was the person pretty much in charge of Open Solaris, or at least the strategy of this attempt to create a Unix that's open source competition to Linux. And now he's been disappearing in some sense, but I understood he's going to have some announcement to make. He's basically working really hard on some project that's still secret. And I'm not sure what it's going to be. Hopefully it's going to incorporate Debian in some way.
Right, there's another sort of a little spin on another release, hot off the press, presumably. Or it might be a release by the time this episode gets listened to. Is I regularly join the Linux Mint channels, and been wondering when Mint KDE, Mint 10 KDE, is all the community editions. The main one is GNOME, and then they've got other community editions like XFCE, KDE, LXDE. And the sort of forgotten about Fluxbox edition. But apparently, I saw people saying, just downloading the Mint 10 KDE release candidate, which is their first release basically as the release candidate. They go straight to RC stage. And according to the blog, according to the blog, it's being approved for RC status, so presumably that means that the mirrors are syncing as we speak. So that should, unless I've jumped the gun, that should be available. And it has KDE 4.6, which apparently is pretty damn good. So yeah, if you want to check out Mint KDE, Mint 10. KDE is should be about out by the time you're listening to this.
I burned as soon as version 10, which of course is based on GNOME, came out about a month ago or just over a month ago, and I burned it. I put it on a CD straight away, but only last Tuesday I had an opportunity to actually install that, and it was really impressive. Actually, they made some very nice thing with the graphics. I found an increasing number of distros that try to emulate like OS 10 and put all kinds of nice effects and using icons of sorts to kind of impress people and basically putting a new dress on Ubuntu, because I personally really hate the default looks of Ubuntu. I think it's tasteless, but it's a matter of taste. Some people absolutely enjoy that, but it's just not my taste. But one of the things about Mint is they don't actually go to the OS 10 type looks. They actually have a very unique kind of metallic looking in version 10, and I really recommend people try to download that and try to distro. If they intend to get Ubuntu, they could just go and unless they want to get all the completely free Libre type drivers and not have Flash and whatever, they could just go for Mint 10, which is the same. It's based on 10.10. On Ubuntu 10.10 with GNOME, and it's just as stable. It's supposed to be just as stable, and it seems to behave in very much the same way. But it's got a lot more tools. I know Gordon was doing quite a few screencasts trying to explain the different tools, the very specific tools which make Mint a compelling offer to the user. And I've been looking around and trying to see what it's about. And I was really, really impressed. Even one of the nicest things, and I'm not sure how long it's been around, but when you install Mint, it basically starts the installer, it starts copying the files, and as you enter the details for you to be used.
Yeah, that's on Ubuntu. That comes from Ubuntu. That was 10.10.
Yeah, that was a very good feature. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something